I'm going to show you how to cast on your crochet hook. So get your wool, cross over the 2 pieces of wool so you've got a loop, then push your loop down so it's got the longest piece of wool going through the centre of your loop. The longest piece of wool is obviously attached to your ball of wool. Then you get your hook and you're going to hook that long piece of wool that's going through, and you're just going to pull and it's attached. So I'll do that again for you. There you go. Then you're going to put some stitches. So all you're going to do is you're going to wind the wool round and you're going to pull it through the stitch that's on your hook. So you're going to wind round, pull through, wind around, 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 pull through. And you just keep going like that until you've got the desired amount of stitches. Now I can count these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 stitches on there so far. So we're going to do a little sampler. So we want 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we've now got 12 stitches on our hanging off our crochet hook. Now we're going to do a single crochet into each of these stitches. So to do that, you are going to get your hook and you're going to push it through the first hook stitch. Not this one. This one is attached to your crochet needle. So you want to go into the next one, which is the one below. So you push your crochet hook through that first stitch. You wind your wool around and you pull through that first stitch. You've got two stitches on the hook. Wind around and pull through both stitches on the hook. Then you're going to do it again. We're going to go into the next stitch. So you go into the next stitch, which is this one, push through, wind your wool round, pull up, you've got 2 stitches on the hook, wind around, pull that wool that you've just wound through the 2 on the hook. Going to go into the next stitch. Now the next stitch it's not this one here, that's the one that's attached to the stitches you've just done. It's the one next to those. So it's this one here, next door. Can you see? Get that out of the way. That one there, that's the next stitch. Not this one underneath. You want the one next to it. The one next to it. So push in. It's very difficult to try and show you. Push in to the next stitch. Wind your wool round. Pull through that stitch. You've got 2 stitches on the hook. Wind around. Pull through both stitches on the hook. Into the next stitch, wind around, pull up, wind around, pull through 2, wind around into the next stitch, hang on, yeah. Push into the next stitch, wind around, pull through, wind around, pull through 2, push into the next stitch, wind around, pull through, I'm getting over there, sorry, you got 2 stitches on the hook, wind around, pull through both stitches. It's very difficult because I'm doing it slowly. I have to really think about what I'm doing. Into the next stitch. So your next stitch, hang on, your next stitch is here. So it's not this one, that's the one you've been working in previously. So it's this one here, the next stitch. All right, so push into that stitch there, like so. Wind your wool round, pull through, you've got 2 on the hook, wind around, pull through 2. It does take a bit of practice, but once you've mastered it, honestly, you will just do it without thinking. So you push through the next stitch, wind around, pull up, wind around, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, wind around, pull through, 2 on the hook, wind around, pull through 2. Now, can you see we've got 2 stitches left on the hook that we need to do. Got that one there, that one there, and that one there. So there's 2 left to go in to do. All right, so I'm going to push in, wind around, pull through, 2 on the hook, wind around, pull through, push in the last one, wind around, pull through, wind around, pull through both, and there we have it. Done our first row of single crochet. If you want to do another row of those, you literally have to go up. So you have to go up and turn, okay? So if you're doing a single crochet, you do 1 stitch. So wind the wool round and pull through. You've just created 1 single crochet to be able to go up to the next row. Then you're going to turn your work like so, okay? And you're working then back along this way. So all you do is the same again. You're going to push through, wind around, pull through, got 2 on the hook, wind around and pull through. Into the next stitch, wind around, pull through, pull up, wind around, take off 2. Pull into the next stitch, wind around, pull up, wind around, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, wind around, pull through, wind around, pull through 2. So I'm just going to finish the row. Got my last 2 to do. last one, wind around, pull through 2. So there we've done 2 rows of single crochet. Okay, now if you want to do something a little bit different than just single crochet, what we'll do is a half double crochet. That's my favourite stitch. So to go up to do a half double crochet, you need to do 2 stitches, whereas when you did the single crochet you just did 1. So you're going to wind round and pull through. You're going to wind round and pull through again. So you've now created 2 stitches on the end. Then you're going to turn your work, holding it this way in your hand. So you are now working back along this way, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to wind our wool round, we're going to miss the first stitch and we're going to go directly into the second stitch. So we're missing this first stitch and we're going into the next stitch, which is this one here. Let's see if I can show you a bit better. Hang on. So we're missing this, hang on, can't see it myself. We're missing this first stitch and we're going to go into the second stitch. If you look along the top, can you see they're like V's? Each stitch looks like a little V. There, can you see them going down? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're going to miss the first one and you're going to go into the second one. Okay? So let's put our wool back on. So we're going to miss the first one, go into the second stitch. Before we do that, we're going to wind our wool round, go into the second stitch, wind our wool around and pull up. We've now got 3 stitches on our hook. We're going to wind around and we're going to pull that wool through all 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. And that's the stitch. It's quite simple to do. So we'll do it again. Wind the wool round, go into the stitch, the next stitch, wind the wool around, pull up, wind the wool around, pull through all 3 stitches and you're done. Wind the wool around into the next stitch, wind the wool around, pull up, you've created 3 on the hook, wind the wool around, pull through all 3, wind the wool around into the next stitch, wind the wool around, pull through, you've got 3 stitches on the hook, wind the wool around, pull through all 3. Okay, wind the wool around into the next stitch, wool around, pull up, wool round, through all 3, wool around, next stitch, wool round, pull up, wool round, pull through, wool round, next stitch, pull through, wool round, pull up, wool round, pull through all 3, wool round, next stitch, pull through, 3 stitches, wind wool round, pull through all 3, wool round, next stitch, wool round, pull up, wool round, pull through all 3, wool round into the last little stitch, wool round, pull up, 3 stitches, we'll round, pull through all 3. And there we have it. And you can keep doing that all the way up. And what I would suggest is that maybe you do like a flannel to start with. And then maybe you could do like a little baby blanket. My mum and I, we used to make baby blankets for the little poorly babies in hospital, in Musgrove Hospital. And they were so tiny because they were such tiny babies, and we used to do little stripy ones. And then when they used to go home, they used to have their little blanket to take home. So it was like a little keepsake for the parents. So when they were 18, they would say, oh, there's your little blanket you had when you were in the hospital. So yeah, so we used to make those. And we also used to make lap blankets for the local care home, because you get cold, don't you, when you're sitting around and you're old, and you're not very active, you know, and your blood's getting a bit thin, bless you. So you do get a bit chilly, you feel the cold. So they wanted some lap blankets, so we made some blankets to put over their knees, you know, a knee blanket. So that was something else we did. And you can quite easily do that with this stitch. It is pretty simple to do. And then all you've got to do is rewind the video and just keep going. You know, you do another 2, so you go 1 and 2 and turn your work, miss the first stitch and you go into the second stitch and you start away back over the other end, get to the end, do 1 and 2, turn your work, miss the first stitch, go into the second stitch and go across, and so on. I'm not the best tutor, I will admit. I've not shown anyone how to crochet before. This is the first time I've ever shown anyone how to crochet. This is the basics of crochet. Once you've learned how to do a couple of stitches, you know, you go onto YouTube, would be my advice, and to watch other YouTubers that are better set up than me and can show you properly, do a proper demonstration of how to do crochet. But at least now you've got a crochet hook, you've got some wool, you can get yourself cast on, you can cast some stitches, you can do a first row initially, and you can do another row if you wanted to do something, you know, if you want to go on and do something a bit more fancy, then, you know, go onto YouTube and see how to do that, which is what I did. The only thing that I did do, which you'll probably, those of you that can crochet will be going, you've got that stitch wrong. When I first started, I didn't realise that there was the American crochet and the UK crochet, and I didn't realise that there was a difference between the two. And they call the stitches different name. And I taught myself the American way. So when I say a double half crochet, the UK will call it something different. I think they call it a triple half crochet, I think. I'm not sure. So yeah, so just be aware of that when you're doing yours, that if you get a UK pattern, you need to have taught yourself the UK stitches. But to be honest, I can't read a crochet pattern particularly well. I would put in crochet jumper, and I would watch somebody show me on YouTube how to crochet a child's jumper, and I would just do a bit, copy it, do a bit, copy it, and that's how I learn, and that's how I make things, rather than going and buying a pattern and doing the pattern myself at home. I do it all through YouTube, watching other people. So give it a go, see what you think, and let me know how you get on. I hope you found this helpful. If not, tough. No, if not, let me know. You come round and I might be able to show you better around my house. Anyway, that's my crochet. Take care.